What is going on? What is going on? I am back. I am back. I am back. Just jump from one channel to the next. Come on in. Hit that like button. Let me know where you are checking in from. Let's get this roll call going. I love to see what people checking in from. So let me know where you are checking in from. And we're going to go ahead and get started. Tonight, we're just going to be talking about Final Mile, doing a Q&A, talking, and I'm going to get out of here. The other night, we set the record. And it was a collaborative effort between me, Kirk, I think Axel was on that one, and a few other people I think joined the live. James joined the live. It was one more person that joined the live. I forget. But yeah, we was on that thing for like 6.5 hours and a lot of value was given out. So come on in, let me know where you guys are checking in from. And we will get started. Young World, that's who it was. Young World was in that thing the other night. That was a long live. I don't plan on ever doing that again. All right. That was 3 lives in one. All right. So come on in. Let me know where you're checking in from. Hit that like button as you come on in. North Carolina in the building. Zup Chuck says, yeah, 6 hours. Hold on, let me put that on the screen. Let me move that out the way. Nope, I don't want to keep that. Let me move that out the way. Yeah, 6 hours was crazy. I had to watch the second half in the AM. Thanks for coming back, watching that second half. North Carolina building, Louisiana in the building, Florida in the building, Ohio in the building, Detroit, Wisconsin. James, you're not from Wisconsin. I thought you was from Jersey. Or you saying that's where you at right now? That's where you at right now is Wisconsin. NY in the building, Bama in the building. Zubcheck says that part makes me want to go produce a beat. Which part is that? For my intro? I want to switch my intro up too. I need to find somebody to do me a new intro. I think I'm starting to get tired of the NBA 2K intro. I want to switch it up. ATL by the way of New York. Peace, North Carolina in the building. All right, so tonight we're just gonna talk Final Mile. We're gonna talk about what the ending of the intro. Yeah, that it go kind of hard at the end on that breakdown. It do go kind of hard. I ain't gonna hold you. Yeah. So tonight we're gonna be talking about Final Mile. Do a Q&A, and then we'll get out of here. I'm gonna keep it funky with you. I really didn't have time to really put nothing together. So whenever I don't have time to put something together, there's nothing wrong with doing a good old Q&A. So that's what we're going to do tonight. Good old Q&A. Today was just a busy day. Started out with coaching this morning. Then from that other live the other night, a lot of people got that free partial training today with Kirk, and I was in on that. So that was a few hours, and then I went over to Kirk's channel and jumped on with him, and that was a few hours, which is why I was kind of late for this one. So we've been doing middle mile partial all day and private sessions, and then we did it. Well, he did it publicly. I just kind of jumped on the channel with him and Axel, and now we're gonna talk Final Mile. So if there's any questions regarding Final Mile, go ahead and ask them. Me and Kurt was talking earlier. He put it out there. That we're going to be doing a free webinar. It's going to be a free webinar. So, I don't know. We might be able to, I know he said a small number, but I'm thinking we should just make it big. I know with Zoom, we could do up to 100 people. I think we should just maximize and do as many people, that the platform will allow us to bring in that we can comfortably, handle, so we can do maybe a Q&A at the end. So I don't know when we're going to do that. That's a work in progress. It'll probably be within the next 2 months, and it'll be middle mile, final mile, and then if we can get Axel in, you'll have a little bit of the cargo van as well. But we're working on another whole separate podcast. I'm calling it the 3-headed monster, but that's still a working title too, where you're going to get all 3 lanes together on one podcast. Me and Axel was kind of experimented with it last Monday. Kurt was sick, and we did like a nice 2-hour live, and we talked about the industry. We talked about some of the economic things in the industry. We talked about how the war could possibly, a potential war could possibly affect the industry later on, the latter part of this year. So a little bit different than what I like to do, because I would like to talk about politics. I know I talk from an economical standpoint on the channel, but there's other things too, but I don't want to get political on this channel. So I think that would be better once we do that podcast with all three of us collectively. So those are things that we're working on. All right. Box truck final mile, felony friendly. Ain't no Kirk had a channel. Yeah, Kirk had a channel. His channel is on track trucking. Yeah, it's felony friendly depending on which account and what company. So you just got to apply within, and then depending on what your crime, entail would determine if they would accept you or not. That particular company. Young World says 3 wise men. I like that. I like that title. Might have to write that one down. Mark, that final mile JB Hunt number for members only. The area code is commonly used. Jersey 3 number. What does JB Hunt do? That number that I gave out in the members only section. So what he's talking about, I'm starting to give out just little tidbits in the members only section for all the members. So every week I'm going to drop something that I may not talk about on the channel and give out public, because the members are signing up on YouTube as members. So I got to give them something a little bit extra. I know they're doing it just to support the channel, but I feel obligated to give them a little bit of extra sauce. So that information that you saw in the members only, that's for JB Hunt for final mile. So that's delivering appliances, furniture, online stuff like that. Final mile stuff requires 2 men, and you're gonna be doing lifting, going in and out of homes. So that's what that is, James. That number that I gave is just to the recruiter. So that recruiter is based out of New Jersey. Subchuck says, you guys got something going that hasn't been done in the space yet. I'm here for it. Yeah, so that's exactly why we're doing it. It's not something that's been done in the space. So that's why collectively we've decided to just do it. And the beautiful thing about it is it was built organically. You know what I'm saying? The way I stumbled across Kirk's channel was just recommended. And ever since I stumbled across his channel, you know what I'm saying, we just been building, trying to help people. Then Axel popped into one of my I'll never forget, Axel popped into the live. It was the box truck hype is dead live. That was my biggest live as far as, live viewers at the moment. Like I had 200 people in that live, and that was like right on the cusp of peak season, right? And right when everyone was complaining because peak season it came and wasn't nobody it ain't funny, wasn't nobody making no money. So, I had been calling it for a long time. So that's kind of like when my channel, like, well, who is this guy? And that's exactly what Axel said. Like, man, who is this guy? That was the first thing I remember him typing in the chat. And I'm like, who is this guy asking who I am? You know what I'm saying? So it was 200 people in that live, and he was just in there, being Axel, but we didn't know him at that point. And man, he brings a lot of knowledge to the space. It's just right that, from those 3 different lanes, we just collectively come together and just do something, like you said, that's never been done in this space, and just do something together, because you're getting all 3 of the lanes. You're getting the cargo van expediting, you're getting the middle mile, you know what I'm saying? And then you're getting the final mile. So, the viewers can choose. You're getting information from 3 people that have the tenure and have the experience and the knowledge base. So now you're getting this information from all 3 lanes, from people that are working collectively together. Now you can ultimately decide which lane you want to fall in, you know what I'm saying? So, man, I can't wait to, get started. Let's see. I'm here too. I want to learn all aspects of the business. That's what's up. I got a meeting with UST tomorrow. What is your opinion on them? I never ran UST, but all these final mile companies reach out to me. All right. I'm the guy they reach out to because they see the channel. They reached out to me. They want to do, business together. As far as all the companies that reach out to me, two kind of stand out to me as far as the communication levels. I haven't worked with UST, but the people at UST work with me. Like in your situation, like when people have questions about UST or they're struggling with onboarding, I have direct connects. Like my contact is the assistant to the president of the company. So whenever someone reaches out to me regarding having an issue with UST, I text her directly, and whatever they need, she makes it happen. So that's why I like UST, because we have a working relationship together so that I can help, subscribers in the channel. Same thing with Cardinal. I brought John on from Cardinal 2 weeks ago. We did that live stream that I had to take down because there was some legal stuff that was in there that was kind of not on my end, was on his end. He apologized for it. That he said that, the powers that be in the company said, you know what, we can't, we got to take it down. So could you take it down? So I took it down. But anyway, I've still been in communication with John. John calls me at least twice a week. They've made it their business. They even said, man, we want to do something with the channel. We love what you're doing, Mark. There's not enough information out there for Final Mile, and the stuff that we've come across has all been just not right information. Your channel is 100% accurate, great information from all the stuff we researched from the very few content creators that speak on Final Mile. So I would say those two companies. So UST, I think it's a good company, because if you can't get whatever you're looking for out of them, if you have any questions, you can come to me, and I have a direct connect to the powers that be. And, as soon as I text her, she responds, and whatever I need, she gets it for whoever I need it for. So that's why I like UST and Cardinal. I can't really speak. I've talked to people at RXO, I've talked to people at other companies, but UST and Cardinal, I think they're good companies as far as the relationship I have with them behind the scenes. I can't speak from actually doing business, running for them, but anything I need for you guys, they make it a priority to get me what I need. You know what I'm saying? So let me know how that goes for you tomorrow. And if you need something that you can't get, from them or whatever, just let me know. It's King 330 says, I still can't join the channel. You got to go to the main page, and it's a button that says join members, and it'll let you join. You just pick a tier and it'll let you join. I'm not sure. I got people joining every day. It should. You just probably not looking in the right space. Go to the main page. What would you consider industry standard pay rate for Final Mile appliance delivery? $750 would be the minimum I would accept any contract for. Anything less than $750 is going to be a little bit difficult. Depending on your overhead expenses. If you have really low overhead expenses and you're on the truck, you might be able to make $650 work, depending on what the workload is. If they're saying 15 stops for appliances, then $650 is not enough. If they're saying $650 a day for IKEA for 15 stops, then I say, yeah, by all means, go for it. You know what I'm saying? But the standard that I would kind of shoot for would be $750 if you're dealing with appliances and furniture for the most part. But that can vary. Like I said, if $650 is something they're offering you, $675, and it's not like appliance, it's not nothing that's really strenuous. If it's like IKEA, or let's say it's like Wayfair, where it's just threshold delivery, it's no assembly involved, then yeah, by all means, because you're just dropping and going. When it gets to the point where you might have 11 stops and 8 of them are assembly or some type of hookup, then you got to start playing with that $750 or higher. O's Appliance in the building. What's going on? New York in the building. J. Lou 895 found a contract offering $25 curbside, $38 white glove, setting up mattresses, 15 to 18 stops per day. Where can I find room to negotiate more? 15 to 18 stops a day. You can find room to negotiate more, maybe on your curbside, maybe somewhere between $5 to $8. $38 for white glove setting up mattress. Maybe you want to bump it up to $40. Mattresses is real simple. Once you get the hang of mattresses, you should be able to knock out a stop depending on what the scope of the stop is, maybe 20, 25 minutes at the most. If it's just a drop, curbside, then man, you shouldn't be in that thing more than 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? In and out. So those rates that you're looking at are kind of standard. You can try to bump it up somewhere between $2 to $8 on depending on the scope. But the thing with mattresses, you want to kind of get in and get out. You know what I'm saying? Get in and get out. You can have early days with mattresses as long as the route is condensed. But you're not going to really get too much more than that for mattresses because it's simple. It's really simple. You know, so if you're getting 15 to 18 stops, you just want to really kind of master getting in and out of those stops. The quicker you get done, the more money you're making. If you drag those days out with mattresses, then that's where you start losing at. Done Beezy, what's going on? What's going on? I ain't seen you in a minute. What's the worst situation I had to deal with? With Final Mile, I've had a few situations. I had a guy fall through some stairs before. I've had trucks stuck in the snow before that have cost me money. I've been sued before. I had a truck get into an accident, got sued before. I've had companies not pay me before. I had a company not pay me for 2 pay periods, totaling 28 grand. So, you know, operating on an $8,000 payroll each pay period. So it was 16,000 that I had to pay just to keep things going. Yeah, they paid me, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, it was 3 pay periods later, you know what I'm saying? So I've had a bunch of stuff happen in business. I've had, you know, to deal with, you know, logistics companies soliciting my drivers. I've had to threaten to sue, you know, due to a non-compete clause that I've had in the contract. It's a slew of things that I've been through, but all those things, you know, just made me a stronger, more shrewd businessman. So when I started to enter into other endeavors in business, you know, those things were things that strengthened, you know, my business acumen, made me a smart business man, and it just made me very shrewd. You know what I'm saying? It just made me a very shrewd businessman. Because I can be honest, when I first started in business, I was the nicest person you could meet. I was just so happy to be a business guy and have a business, and you know, but you know, people would take advantage of that. You know what I mean? So ultimately, I became a very shrewd businessman, and so everything that I went through that were trial and tribulation based, you know, just made me a smarter, stronger, more shrewd businessman. You know, so. My phone died on the other line with Kurt. What's going on? Springfield, Illinois in the building. All right. Springfield, Illinois. You ain't quite, you about 2.5 hours away, but we'll for the sake of the lie, we'll say you a Chicagoan. All right, what's going on, y'all? Let me know. Let's get some Q&A going. What's going on with everybody? How everybody doing tonight? Jamar Fraser, what about paper stop mileage pay as well? Well, you asking Zup Chuck, what was Zup say? So according to Mark, average should be $650 to $750 a day. So that $750 I talked about, that should be like a start. It could go up. You know, you could have a route that'll pay $1,000 a day. You could have a route that might pay $1,200 a day. You could have a route that might pay $800 a day. And then sometimes routes will vary depending on the scope. Paper stop varies on the account. It varies on the scope of the stop. All right, you got 3 different levels of scope of delivery when you're dealing with final mile. You got curbside, you got threshold, right? So curbside is just dropping it at the curb, all right? If they got a attached garage, you can put it in the garage. That's fine, you know what I'm saying? Or dropping it at the front of the stairs, all right? Ascending stairs, crossing the threshold doesn't apply to curbside. Simple, curbside. Threshold is when you're crossing the threshold. So it's couple types of threshold. You got basic threshold, which is just literally crossing the threshold, whether it's the front door threshold or the back door threshold. Literally cross the threshold, the room you enter when you cross the threshold, you drop it there. All right. Then you got something else that's called threshold room of choice, where you're going inside the home, crossing the threshold, and then the customer can have you drop it in whatever room of choice. If it's a bedroom set, they may have you drop in the bedroom. If it's an elliptical, they may have a exercise room normally that's in the basement. So on and so forth. And then the granddaddy of them all is white glove service, which is where you're going to bring it in, room of choice. You're going to unpackage it, right? The packaging, the styrofoam, the cardboard, you're going to remove all that out of the home. You can't use their garbage can. You got to put that back on the truck, break it down, put it back on the truck. I like to tell people, keep you a nice speed pack. Get you a speed pack. They cost about $40 at the Move and Supply Warehouse store, either CDS or New Haven, or if you're doing final mile delivery and you got like a big box that a refrigerator came in or something like that, where you just pull the box off the top or some type of big box, you keep that, and then when you break all your cardboard and your styrofoam down, you neatly pack it in there. You remove the packaging, and then you start the assembly or the hookup. All right. So that's what white glove is. And ultimately, that's the granddaddy of them all. Those three different tiers are how you're going to get paid. So obviously, you're not going to get paid for a curbside what you would get paid for a white glove. You know what I'm saying? So curbside, threshold room of choice, white glove. So the higher you ascend up, right, on the scope of the final mile, the more you're going to get paid. And then depending on what you're delivering, also, if you're doing a bedroom set, you know what I'm saying, you got to put the bed together, you deliver the mattress, you got to set that up, the dresser may, it'll get delivered in one piece, but if it got the handles, you got to screw the handles in. You're going to get paid for each setup, you know what I'm saying? So, you might get paid more for the white glove if it's more to assemble versus one thing. How would you coordinate a OTR box truck trip if you were going over the world? I think you mean make a person like me that dispatch this. How would you coordinate a OTR box truck trip if you were going over the road? Make a person like me that dispatch this. So how would I coordinate it? You would parcel it out. So if you're doing middle mile stuff, what I've been doing lately, I haven't been even taking any coaching or stuff for middle mile. I just been sending all that stuff to Kirk. You know what I'm saying? So with our little thing that we got going on, I think you're gonna get more value from middle mile from him. So for middle mile, I could coach you on it, but I think it's better for you to go over to Kirk. Basically, what you're gonna do is you're just gonna partial it out. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna partial it out. Dispatching, well, you said a person like me who dispatched itself. So yeah, you're gonna learn how to work those load boards, and you're gonna parcel that stuff out. But I'm gonna recommend that you go see Kirk for that. I'm assuming that JB Hunt doesn't do curbside. You're assuming wrong. You're assuming wrong, James. And you know what they say about people who assume, right? They do some level of curbside. Now, how much volume they have on curbside, I don't know. That's something that you're gonna have to inquire. Now, I can tell you there's a few companies that do curbside. R&L does curbside, TQL does curbside, T-Force does curbside. There's quite a few companies that do curbside. You just gotta apply for the ones that do and see if they have any availability and go from there. More questions. Any more questions? Like I don't have a presentation tonight. I'm just doing Q&A. I've been kind of busy all day, in other sessions and just working on stuff. So if y'all ain't got no questions, then this would be the shortest one ever. The shortest one. We did the longest one ever the other day, and today will be the shortest one ever. Cause I do got some other things I need to work on. What's going on with Amazon? I see some people that switched up some stuff. You got some People selling other courses and stuff now. What's going on? You know, and Amazon that shook up the world. It seemed like in the box truck community, man, it shook the world up, and I just don't understand why. There's plenty of other options out here, like we was talking about an hour ago on Kirk's channel. There's other things to do. So if you're new to the space and you were banking on Amazon and you can't now, and your authority goes active next week or the week after next, and you're getting your box truck shortly after that, and that was your intended plans, just now you gotta do something else. That's all. Not much questions today. Been with Kirk all day. Yeah, I know. But it's that middle mile and final mile, just two different things. Middle mile gonna always be more popular than final mile. It's gonna always be more popular, and I always said that. So it's gonna be more interesting in middle mile because it's a one man solo act, and it's less. It's a trade off. You got more driving. It's more mental lifting than anything, because if you have a family, you're going to be away from your family. If you have kids, you're going to be away from your kids. So it's a trade-off. From with final mile, you're doing more physical labor, and I think you're doing more emotional labor with middle mile. So I think it's an even trade-off in that aspect. So, middle mile is going to be more popular, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? But I like to stay in my lane. You dig what I'm saying? Whether, and I know my lane isn't the popular thing. And then you got Amazon on top of that. That's the granddaddy of popularity. So, I'm at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to popularity. But when you look at the bread aspect of it, you know what I'm saying? The bread aspect of it, and this ain't no shade. Talking from a growth standpoint, I'm at the top of the totem pole. My lane is at the top of the totem pole. So yeah, but we've been with Kirk all day, so it's all good. Kirk, my man, so got a lot of good information over there. So never put all your eggs in one basket. Quickest way to fail. Yeah, a lot of people put their eggs in one basket. If you got multiple trucks, you definitely want to diversify. It's just like any investment. You got a multitude of investments. You want to diversify your investment. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, because if you got this investment over here and it loses today, you got these two investments over there that are making money. So, covering those losses. So if one thing is losing, you got something else that's winning. So, if you start scaling your business, you got a multitude of trucks. Yeah, you want to definitely diversify your trucking portfolio, your asset portfolio, any type of business you're in. You want to diversify. You want to, don't want to put all your eggs into one basket. ADR, man. You know me, you got the inside. I be knowing what you be talking about. Some other people be knowing what you talk about, man. But we all peace, man. It's all peace, man. Last year was last year. I don't think so. I think they doing all right. I think they're doing all right. I think people have just taken a step back. Altogether. Like, listen, I'm always gonna keep it funky with you. There's only so much information you can put out. You know what I'm saying? There's only so much you can put out. So you're going to reach your ceiling. You're definitely going to reach your ceiling when it comes to content if you're focusing on something like this that's niche based. You know what I'm saying? And I think if you look at the landscape of this box truck community, I think, last year, because of the popularity, everybody was just thirsty to consume content. And then that made the content creators thirsty to push out content. And I just think most people just reached their ceiling. It's not for everybody to do these live streams. Live streams, it takes a lot of time and effort, and you got to kind of have the luxury to be able to spend this type of time. You know what I'm saying? I stopped, creating. I don't want to say I stopped creating videos. I just put out more live streams. I don't think they might have lost their. It's a few people. If you look, everybody done slowed down on content. I just think most people just reach their ceiling. I just think they reached their ceiling. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna be honest with you. I just think people have reached uh 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 the ceiling, and that's it. Don Beasy said Amazon rates decent the past few weeks. I wouldn't know. But if you say so, I'm gonna take your word for it. Pace runners, heard of them? No, I haven't heard of them. Are there many solo final mile contracts available? There's quite a few opportunities for final mile. I've had some subs that, since I started talking about curbside final mile, that went out and sought curbside final mile contracts, and they've been able to come off the road and make the same money that they were making going over the road locally. I got one sub that actually came off the road and picked up a TQL contract for HD Supply. And he's doing $3,000 a week gross, $600 a day, 15 stops a day, just doing curbside for HD Supply. He's making the same gross that he was making going over the road for the week, and he's home every night. So, I got another subscriber that's doing about $1,000 a day, for R&L carriers locally, so the opportunities are there. You just got to seek them, and you shall find. You know what I'm saying? We come here to kick it, ask questions, learn new business tactics. Those guys only had Amazon to talk about. Hey, man, y'all trying to start some mess, man. I'm just want to be peaceful, man. 2023, we're going to be peaceful this year, man. Peaceful. Everybody coming from with different sauce. Some people are just, the more experience a person has in the business, the farther, their content will take them, and that's not a knock. It's just honesty. The longer you have in anything, you know what I'm saying, it'll take you farther. Person that's been in the space a year, 2, 3 years, they only have 2 years, 3 years worth of experience. There's nothing wrong with that, but they can only the stories and the things that I've been through. You're talking about stories and things that I've been through since 2010. It's different from a person creating content that started in 2021. I've been through a lot of stuff, so I have a lot of stuff to talk about. It's a lot of stuff I haven't talked about. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of stuff that I ain't thought to talk about, that pops up if someone asks a question. Like, we was on Kirk's channel and somebody was talking about something that popped in my head because I went through something similar. I talked about how I didn't get paid the one time. I talked about a contract, a seasonal contract that didn't pay me. Somebody mentioned something about their truck, a blowout. I had a situation with a blowout. I had a few situations where I had to get trucks winched out of spots because they got stuck in the snow. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things that, when I see certain comments or people ask certain questions that pop into mind. You're talking about over 10 years of doing this. So I've been through a lot. So I have a lot more to talk about. You know what I'm saying? I've cross-docked. I know what it's like to have my own warehouse. You know what I'm saying? And be a cross-docker where the freight comes to my warehouse and we run it final mile from my warehouse, where my trucks don't have to drive 30 miles to this logistics company, load out, and then drive 20 miles to their route and then start their route. So I got a lot more experience than a lot of people. So I think that's why I can still be here and talk and not run out of stuff to talk about and things like that. So I have a 12-footer box truck and I want to do the middle mile. I'm in Gurney, Illinois. What do I need to get someone to give me a chance? Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. A 12-foot box truck, man, I don't want to say it can't be done, you know what I'm saying? But to run middle mile, I would equate a 12-foot box truck equivalent to a cargo van. So, I don't know, bro. I don't even want to, because I don't want to sound negative, and I don't want to. I just know it's hard for a 16-foot box truck. in the middle mile space. You know what I'm saying? So a 12-foot box truck, I know what a 12-foot box truck look like. I used to be a U-Haul dealer. You can probably fit 2-3 pallets on that thing, maybe, because with a 12-foot box truck, you got the tires on each side. You got that hump for the tire. So you losing that space right there to put a pallet. So on each side, you see what I'm saying? So that's really like maybe 2 pallets, because you can't even put 2 on the wall on this side because you got the hump right there to over, for the tire. So I don't know, man. I really don't know. I really don't want to suggest anything, because I really don't think a 12-foot box truck is just that. 12-foot box truck is something that U-Haul has a patent on their 10-foot, and I believe Penske has a patent on their 12-foot, and those are really what they rent out, to do like a few things, or dorm moves. But commercially, I just don't know if there's many options. The best advice I could give to you I would look for things for the middle mile for cargo vans, and then I would reach out to those brokers and say, look, there's no option for 12-footer, but the 12-footer is similar to the cargo van, except I got a little bit more height. Would you be willing to let me pick up this load with my 12-footer versus a cargo van? You know what I'm saying? That's what I would do. I would look for stuff that for cargo van, and I would just I would try to go that route. What are your thoughts on today's market in regards on purchasing a straight truck? Would you buy or lease? I definitely would buy. I think there's some good deals out there. I would shop for the right deal. I would be patient. One thing that I'm seeing is, man, people are really anxious to get into this business, and there's nothing wrong with it, but like, you can't be too anxious where you make the wrong decision from the initial, start. Like, James was on the other channel earlier today, and he said, I was just so anxious to get, and it's not a shot at him, because I've come across so many people that have said that they just get so anxious because they finally get everything they need, and they just get in just to say they in. But even him, he said, man, I knew I was taking a loss on my first load, but I didn't think it was going to be as much of a loss as it turned out to be. Why? Why take anything where you're going to lose, especially initially? If you finally got what you need to get in to the industry, and the industry has, come to a turning point where it just might not be, cost efficient to get in at that time, you got to exercise some patience and some discipline. You know what I'm saying? You can't be anxious to get into something that ultimately you're going to lose. You know what I'm saying? It don't work like that. I would definitely look for a truck that would be, cost, efficient, that would keep my overhead low. You may not find nothing right off the bat. So I would definitely buy over leasing. Now, if you mean renting, other than leasing, I definitely wouldn't rent at some of these very exorbitant, rental rates. If you were able to find, I'm not totally against rentals. If you're able to find a rental where the rates are fair, you know what I'm saying, I would say go for it. You know what I'm saying? Learn a business in a rental truck, but that's at a fair rate, fair daily cost, fair mileage cost, you know what I'm saying? Then yeah, I'm for it. But if it's not fair, something where it's not gonna break the bank, it's not gonna, put too much damage to your bottom line, then I say, go for the rental. But if you're not able to find something like that, then ultimately you'll have to purchase a truck. Mark, is it illegal to sleep in a day cab? This is something that, has been, that's gone back and forth between content creators and channels, where some people say it's okay, some people say it's not okay. Now, from my understanding, I could be wrong, you can't sleep in something if it doesn't have a sleeper berth. All right, I've heard you can. Other people said you can't. Now, from my understanding and from my research, if it doesn't have a sleeper berth, you can't sleep in it. Now, me personally, if I was running over the road, I gotta sleep in a bed. I gotta sleep in the bed. Everybody is different. You know what I'm saying? Me, I gotta sleep in the bed. All right. I have to sleep in the bed. I need a good, comfortable sleep because um, in order for me to be productive the next day, I have to have that comfortability. You know what I'm saying? When I sleep at night, I can't be sleeping, with my feet out the window. And I'm not making fun of nobody that sleep in the truck. I'm just talking about me personally. But from my understanding, man, you gotta have a sleeper berth. People do it all the time. None of my business. I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? Either way. But from my understanding, I could be wrong. You gotta have a sleeper berth. I'm in the same boat as you at the True. I just got a 16 foot. I can get loads on the load board. You just have to search the van loads and parcel them. All right. So same thing I said. True. You're gonna have to look for van loads. What would be my top 3 suggestions when starting final mile? My top 3 suggestions, a lot of training. You're gonna have to train properly. There's a lot of money in final mile, but there's a lot of risk as well. There's more risk with final mile than it is with middle mile. When it comes to the actual freight, because you got the risk of the freight, you got the risk of the property, right? So you need to train yourself or find someone to train you. And the best way to do that, I'm gonna be honest, a lot of people not gonna want to do it. A lot of people are not gonna do it. The best way to train yourself is to really go work for somebody else. Whether you're gonna work for somebody else or you go work for a company where you're doing in-home delivery, because you can do a lot of damage when doing final mile. You can damage the freight, or you can damage the house, the property. So you need to train yourself on the equipment, how to use the equipment, and how to carry certain things, and what situations to use what equipment in, what situations that you're not going to use the equipment, how to use the equipment, right? How to carry certain things, how to L certain things. People, like, you would be surprised how many times people have booked with my moving company to come behind another delivery company or company to move something that they couldn't figure out how to get in. And I'll send some guys and they'll punch it in, and then 2 minutes later they calling to bill it out that quick, because the company that came to did the delivery, or let's say the company that moved, and it was just this one item they couldn't figure out because they were novice. And with maneuvering certain furniture, it does take time and it does take experience. There's some things you just, like, some people don't know, like going up a flight of stairs where you got to make a wind and turn with a couch. You'll see people carrying the couch with the open end facing the wall when the open end should be facing the banister, because you need that open space when you're going up and around so that can wrap around the stair. They're trying to figure out why it won't make the turn because the back is hitting the banister, when all they have to do is go all the way back down, because this is a situation where people get frustrated. You can't turn that 360 once you started ascending on the landing. You got to go all the way back down out the building, spin the couch around, and then go back up and in. Now you got the open cushion side that's going to make that turn around that banister, tuck it under, and ascend up to the second flight. See, these are things that you just learn from experience. I see people carrying, washers and dryers in, using the shoulder straps when it doesn't call for a shoulder strap. It might call for a appliance dolly, or using the appliance dolly when it call for shoulder straps, or not taking the doors off. You ascend the stairs to only realize, we got to take the doors off. So now you got to go back down, remove the doors. You know what I'm saying? Just goofy stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the key, is training, because the right claim on the wrong day could cost you your business. You know what I'm saying? You could damage someone's property extremely bad. Not everybody's property is going to be the same. You would be surprised. One day you're going to get a job where you might be doing a final mile delivery. It might be a celebrity's crib. It might be, whatever the local team, baseball team, basketball team, football team. We've done a lot of celebrities, in my years. I've had the crew call, man, hey Mark, guess who house we at? So and so and so. You know, I've been on jobs where I actually had to hop on a truck last year and get to the crib. It was Tim Anderson, and we all we did was move a bunch of sneakers to his storage space when he went to spring training. We get to the storage space, he had pallets of these things, and he just like, man, take one. You know what I'm saying? You never, I don't watch baseball. I didn't know who this guy was. You know what I'm saying? But he played for the Chicago White Sox, so you never know. I get to the house, it's a black dude with a big dumb mansion. You know what I'm saying? I'm just thinking it's a black dude with a big dumb mansion. So, but guess what? A damage to a floor in his house versus a damage to a floor in a regular blue collar person's house is different damage to the floor, because guess what? The wood floors he had was a different level. He's talking about dark cherry oak hardwood floors. You know, you don't want to damage stuff in a mansion. A mansion damage is going to cost you more than a typical person who got a $250,000 house damage. So you got to train yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing. Two, man, make sure you got a broker. Make sure you got a good, reliable broker, a broker that's not lazy, because with Final Mile, you're gonna have to talk to your broker multiple times a week, especially if you're doing volumes or loads, which you will be if you're contracted out to the company, because you're gonna have to have your broker write up a bunch of COIs. All right, he's gonna have to. You're gonna get requests for additionally insured damn near every day. All right, a lot of buildings you go in, especially if you live in a big city where they got, you know, real fancy high rises and stuff, they won't let you in the building to do any work unless you add them to the policy for the day as additionally insured. They might want to be added to the policy additionally insured, and they might want to be added as a certificate holder, right? So if anything happens on the property, they're on the policy while they're there, whether it's damage to the property or whether you slip and fall. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you can't sue us. We on the policy. We on the policy with y'all. So you're gonna have to send that verbiage to your broker. All right, we finna do these 3 deliveries. We doing 3 deliveries tomorrow where they want to be added as additionally insured. They're gonna forward you the verbiage. You're gonna forward that verbiage to your broker. Your broker's gonna forward it to the insurance company. The insurance company is gonna add those 3 different verbiages to the policies on 3 different accord forms. They're gonna send it back to the broker. The broker's gonna send it back to you, and then you're gonna send it back to the property management company. Most of the times, this is done days ahead, because you can get it back in the same day, but sometimes it takes a couple of days, because it's all depending on when people are looking at their emails and take the time to write these policies, add these additionally insured verbiage to the policy. 98% of the time, it's done at no cost. Sometimes the insurance company will put a fee on there, because you get some buildings that will they'll have so much verbiage. It won't just be, Sutler Property Management added as additionally insured, and its board of directors, and Sullivan Property Management Company located at 123 Main Street, Chicago, Illinois 60611. They may add all the board of directors, list their names individually. It might be 3 property management companies. They might have a contract with a janitorial service. They add that. They want every single aspect indemnified. So if they send a long verbiage that somebody has to sit there and manually type out, they may add a little charge to that. I've had some that I've had, fees associated with. Not many. I can count on less than 2 hands in all the years, and you just pass those fees along to whoever you're delivering with to. So that'll be the second thing, making sure you got a good broker, insurance broker. The third thing would make sure you got a good CPA to handle your books. When you're doing Final Mile, there's a lot of paperwork that you got to keep up with. More paperwork than middle mile, because you get a BOL middle mile, it might take you 2 days to get there. Even if you're running 1 truck for Final Mile, you might do 15 stops a day. That's 15 BOLs. You know what I'm saying? So that paperwork adds up. So that accounting needs to be, Trump tight when you're doing Final Mile. So those are 3 things that I would really focus on starting out with Final Mile. With the 16-foot, you gotta get van loads and sign up for dispatch. Yeah, you talking? Uh, I'm 5'2", so I'm shorter than the width of the day cab. Maybe I'll get away with it if an officer knocks on my door. I think in your situation, because I know what your working capital is looking like, I'm not telling you what to do. What I will tell you, do what you got to do to get to where you got to get. That's what I will tell you. Mark, you ever had someone ask you to sign their name after delivery? Yeah, all the time. FedEx tells us that to never sign for a customer, even if they're repeating customer you have a good relationship with, is fraud. Mark, have you ever had someone ask you to sign their name? Oh, sign the customer's name? No. No. Sometimes a customer asks you when they're signing a BOL, they'll want you to sign your name for whatever reason. Let's say the thing had a blemish on it or something. They just write a little note and then they'll sign next to their name, and then they want you to sign because they put on the BOL that it had a blemish. So if they call to get a replacement or refund, they see it on the BOL, then that's one thing. But to sign the receiver's name, no. Because you're signing for somebody. No, you don't do that. I'm trying to get a gas 26-foot box truck, but they don't get it in stock until May. Oh, you trying to get a unleaded gas truck? Oh, if that's what you want, and you can't get into May, then you're gonna have to exercise some patience. Then you're gonna have to exercise some patience. Would you go diesel instead to get to the money? That's up to you. If you going OTR, then yeah, you probably want to wait on. You probably want to go get that diesel because it burns slower. If you going OTR, if you're doing local, you could go either way. Yeah, if you're doing over the road, you probably want to go diesel. That'll probably be your best bet. To be honest with you, you know, that'll be your best bet. To be honest with you, you know. Yep, gas burns a lot faster. So you know, if your OTR, I would just get the diesel. I would get the diesel. So if that's what you planning on doing, and you got everything you need to get going, and you OTR, then I wouldn't even be waiting. I'd just go get the diesel truck and get to the money. Get to the money. All right. Any more questions? Hit that like button for me too, guys. Hit that like button. It's been a long day of talking to people, answering questions all day. We've been at it. Me, Kirk, we just been doing it all day, man. So shout out to everybody that was in that training earlier with me and Kirk. A lot of information was given. Once again, for those that came late, we are working on a webinar. Me, Kirk. I'm not sure if Axel is going. We mentioned it to him, but he hasn't really confirmed anything. But yeah, me and Kirk are working on a webinar. It's going to be free. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a free webinar for middle mile, final mile. If Axel joins, then you'll get the cargo van expediting aspect as well. And then a new person that's coming into the space, not for a person that's already in the space. You're welcome to come to the webinar and get some gems, but we want to sponsor a new person that's getting into the space as far as all the equipment that they need, minus the truck. I'm not buying you a truck, not yet. I'm not gonna buy nobody no truck yet, but as far as all your equipment that goes inside the truck to make your job efficient, so your load bars, your straps, your moving blankets, so on and so forth. So we'll give you a starter pack and we'll ship it out to you, and that's gonna be sponsored by Mark the Mentor and Kirk. So that's what we're gonna give to somebody coming up that's getting into the box truck space. We'll give you your starter pack to get you rolling, and we'll ship that starter pack to your crib. That's what we're working on. Is it possible to be middle mile and be home every night or every other night and still be successful? Middle mile. Be home every other night or every night. I don't think you're gonna be able to maximize your earning potential that way, sir. I really don't. If you're looking for ways to beat the system, in that aspect, you need to find a curbside final mile contract. You just should find a curbside final mile contract and just be done with it. Be home every night, still make decent money. Get up every day, go to the warehouse, get your 15 stops, put your pallets on the truck, and go do those local stops and just go home. I think that's what you should do. Straight up and down. You had a long truck talk there. Appreciate you for still coming on. No, it's all good, man. It's all good in the hood, man. I've been dedicated, man. I'm the type of person that once I start something, man, I'm gonna, I try to, be the best at it and keep it going on. I don't like leaving people hanging and fair weather. I'm not a fair weather type person, or I'm here when it benefits me, and when it doesn't, I'm not here. You know what I'm saying? Everything I've been doing is just really just giving free information and giving back, and I'm still here. You know what I'm saying? So free. You mean to tell me y'all not getting 100-foot yacht and hitting for 500? Nah, man. Nah. We just giving it away for free. We gonna purchase the stuff, and whoever win it, we just gonna ship it to them. Hey, DR, you been on my channel for a long time. You know I give free stuff away all the time. You know what I'm saying? So, nah. This ain't like those channels, man, where you do them raffle channels where, I go buy a box truck, right? Let's say I go buy a $70,000, $80,000 box truck, right? I buy the truck, right? And then I raffle it off, right? So I charge for the raffle tickets. I might make $150,000 raffling it. So I spend $80,000 to get the truck. Somebody, I make $150,000 on a raffle, right? So, I make $70,000, right? But a person who, let's say, bought one raffle ticket for $20 get a truck, and all they paid for was $20 on that one raffle ticket, I thought of, that stuff like that crossed my mind, but can I do that? Yeah. Ultimately, will it bite me in the ass? Probably so. You know what I'm saying? And then it's gonna put I just don't want to be associated with that, because eventually people will say, oh, well, he making money off it, da 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 da. Two, it's not, when you do raffles, technically that money is supposed to go to some type of charity. You can't do raffles for profit, and financial gain. You know what I'm saying? So, whatever I do, you know what I'm saying, it's just gonna be me giving it from just the bottom of my heart, I guess, on some soft stuff like that. Just try to give back, man. That's all, man. I ain't charging nobody for nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, me and Kurt gonna collectively do that together. Somebody that's getting into the space, we know it's hard getting all that stuff, low bars, ratchet straps, blankets, shrink wrap, tool set, so your trucker headset, we're gonna put together a nice package, and we're gonna put the bread up, and somebody that's starting, that's gonna be our gift to a person starting out. You know what I'm saying? We somebody gotta set the example, and I just see that in this space ain't nobody really setting the example. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna be the people that's just gonna step up and set the example. You know what I'm saying? Of what you're supposed to do when people ultimately come to you for, direction and your expertise because of your years of experience and tenure. So, we have to lead by example, and that's what we doing, and that's what we're gonna continue to do. Much respect. Appreciate you, DR. pallet jack included. You know, we gonna put something together. You know, we're gonna put something together. We haven't sat down and said what actually is gonna be in this package, but I don't think a pallet jack would be. I mean, it's gonna cost a lot to ship the things. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. We're gonna figure out how we're gonna do this, but we definitely gonna give it away. Sell tickets and draw a ghost winner. Nah, we ain't gonna do nothing like that. Whenever we do something, it's gonna be like how I always do it. When I do my lives, I do, you know, when I get cash away, I cash you app you right on the live and show my phone on the screen that it's sent. When I was giving away headsets and ratchet straps, you know, I would do contests on the live, you know, so everybody can enter, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, whatever I do is always gonna be live based. It ain't gonna be raffle ticket based. I ask a question on live and then somebody get it. Ain't nobody came back and said Mark ain't send me this, that, I sent everybody everything. The cash I've always given away, I've always sent it right here on the live cash app and showed the screen. So, you know, it is what it is, man. We just gonna keep giving information. We just gonna keep helping people out. You ain't lying. Dropped a little bag on straps, blankets, and pallet jacks. Yeah, that stuff. When you starting out, that stuff you gotta buy all that stuff collectively. You know what I'm saying? As you become tenured in the space, you start replacing stuff over time here and there. But when you're starting out, you're buying everything all at once collectively, and you know it could be a little costly at the beginning, man. So we're gonna try to help one person out. Mark, I got 12. Oh, yeah, I just read that one. Oh no, it's a different. Mark, I got 12 straps and a pallet jack. You guys are amazing for what you are doing for us new guys. Wish I would have found you guys earlier. It's all good. You found us now. You found us now. So it's all good, man. It's all good in the hood, man. It's just like me saying, man, I wish I'd have known about moving when I got out of high school. You know what I'm saying? If I would have known about Final Mile in 1998 when I graduated out of high school, you know, I found it in 2010, you know what I'm saying? And when I found it or when I stumbled across it or when God put it in my path, I jumped on it then and took advantage of it. So you came across us now. You've been in here every live. And I want to say something to you too, James. I watched the replay of Thursday night's live. I watched all 6 hours of it. And when you came on, I want to apologize to you because I was a little hard on you. So I want to apologize to you for being hard on you, but I don't feel bad. I'm apologizing because I could have been a little bit lighter in my tone. I don't feel bad because you're here every live and I just felt like you upset me, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody here can attest to it. You ask the most questions, which I appreciate, you know what I'm saying? And for you to go do the total complete opposite of what I told you to do, you know what I'm saying, that kind of upset me. So I apologize for, you know, the tone, but I don't feel bad though. Because I think ultimately you needed that tough love because it just seemed like you wasn't getting it that night. I don't know if you smoked a little loud pack before you jumped on the live or whatnot, but you wasn't getting it. So hopefully, you gain some type of value from that live and from earlier today, and you on a better path and you got a better mindset than what you had last week. All right. So I apologize for that, but I don't feel bad though. Daddy, much love to you too. Where can I get a thick load bar with E-track connector at the end of it? I've always purchased my stuff from CDS. So you can go to CDS, you can go to New Haven. You can order that stuff and they'll ship it to you. Daddy says a lot of good knowledge. Appreciate you. All right, any more questions? Let me see. Yeah, there are more questions. Failure is the best teacher. James gonna be all right. Kendrick Lamar, boy, yeah, he gonna be all right because he's still here. And you know, a good thing about I like about James, even when I was getting on him, man, he stayed cool, patient, and he accepted and was willing to learn. You know what I'm saying? So, it made for good content, you know what I'm saying? But I think ultimately he does want to, he does want to win. So that's what I respect about him, you know what I'm saying? So James says, okay, Mark, my real friends talk to me the way you did. I told them about that live. They agree with you. It showed you caring. I felt upset too that I let you, Kirk, Axel, and chat down. Yeah, man, you just gotta, man. You come to the live to get the information. We giving you the information. We gave it to you for free. We didn't charge you. You could have went somewhere else and you would have paid a hefty penny, and you might have got that information. You might have got sent off. You know what I'm saying? You might have got told something else that ultimately wasn't the right information, but you got great information for the free ski. Once I took you as far as I could take you, because you wanted to deal with Final Mile, I said, man, I'm gonna send you over to Kirk. When you told me your financial situation, I said, well, don't worry, I'll pay for it. When I contacted Kirk and said, Kirk, I want to pay for this subscriber to get this partial training from you. He loan, startup capital. I want him to win. Kirk said, man, Mark, for you, I'm not going to charge him. You know what I'm saying? Kirk didn't charge me. He said, for you, Mark, I ain't gonna charge him. Just give him my information. Then we did that live. It was more people that wanted that training. And because of you, actually, this is because of you. The reason why Erica and Pelham and all those other people got that free training earlier for partial training was because you. So you need to really give you a round of applause for setting that thing in motion, because you were the start of it. You know what I'm saying? So no, it's all good. You dig what I'm saying? So I appreciate you for coming every week, eager to learn, so, I just, when I watched the replay, you know what I'm saying, I think I was just, I was kind of upset, you know what I'm saying, and it kind of, showed in tone, and I said, man, when I see you on live again, I want to apologize, but I don't feel bad, you know what I'm saying, I don't feel bad because I feel like you needed it, but I shouldn't have, you just upset me because I set you up and you went and did the complete opposite, so it's all good though, it's all good. Let me see. Abraham says, hi Mark, did you answer my question? I might miss it. I might have missed it too. I didn't see you with a question, Ibrahim. Ask it again. I didn't see it. I don't even think it popped up. Yeah, I'm scrolling up. I don't see it. Ask it again real quick for me. I'm talking to a broker for a load tomorrow going from Wisconsin to Illinois at $1.95 mile an hour. I get another one from Illinois to Illinois at the same rate, and Illinois to Indiana. I just got to keep pushing. Yeah, well, you in the right area. I told you before I sent you to Kirk, it's a lot of opportunity in this area, and I think this is a great area for a novice to kind of learn, yeah, if you want, just send that stuff to Kirk and have him look at it and make sure you're getting the best bang for your buck. You know what I'm saying? Hurry up and buy. What's going on? James needed the thought live. We all need it sometimes. Yeah, that's why I don't feel bad. You know what I'm saying? But still want to apologize. I don't feel bad, but I do want to apologize. He ain't the first part I jumped on. It's the walk ain't in here. He was on a live stream Sunday night. He asked me a question. I answered the question. The very next day, he DM'd me and told me he got the van under his personal name. I said, why would you get a company van for your business under your personal name? I don't care what the dealership told you. The dealership going to say a lot of stuff. You just go to a different dealership. I've been there. Dealerships play slime ball games. You know what I'm saying? Car salesmen play slime ball games. You know what I'm saying? What he told me, they told me absolutely completely no sense, but they saw them one. They knew they had one because of the way he went in there. But I set him up. So I had to get him on the next live stream. And he came on the live stream, came on camera and took that walk of shame too. But that goes back to what I was saying earlier. You be so anxious that once you finally get all your ducks in a row and you got what you need to go out there and get your vehicle, right? You know, you don't exercise the right patience. He didn't exercise patience because that first dealership he went to wasn't the dealership to sell him the vehicle because they did him dirty. They did him dirty. So he needed to exercise some patience by saying, you know what, this is not what Mark told me. So I'm sorry. Chrysler, Dodge, wherever he was at, you know, I'm gonna have to pass. I can't do that. I should be able to get it under my business. My personal credit is strong. I have a 750. So my bid, I should be able to personally guarantee for the business. All right. That doesn't even make sense that I can't get it for the business, but you'll give it to me under my personal and I don't have to show you no income. Just have a good credit score. But for the business, you want to see financials for a brand new business that doesn't have any, but you don't even know if I have the money personally, but you willing to give. No, see that's the games they play, you know. But it was too late now. You got a company vehicle in his personal name, so now the note that he's paying on the van every month is not being accounted to his business credit. And that's a strong something that would affect his credit, you know, in a good way because he's paying that note monthly. But only thing it's helping is his personal credit, you know. So, you know, James, you ain't the first person that did the complete opposite, you know. It is what it is, though. The truth, bro. I watch you every day. Keep this up. The truth. Appreciate you for checking me out, man. I really do. I've been doing OTR for just a year, and the maintenance costs finally start to catch up with me, and I'm realizing I need to take it easy on my truck. So I'm gonna test this final mile lane. Yeah, just test the final mile lane and see how it works out for you. You know, I'll be here for. Oh, is DeWalk in the build? He is in the building. He been quiet. Usually he'll tap in and say something. Maybe you did earlier. I didn't see you, but you here. Yeah, so you know. So now James don't feel too bad because he got somebody else that he can not jump down their throat for doing the complete opposite. What are your thoughts on starting cross docking or drop ship business? I think it was a dope experience to me. I probably wouldn't do it again because of everything that entails. But, you know, if it's something that you have the patience for, I say go ahead and do it. You know, to have all the freight come to your facility and just run it final mile from there is dope. You save a lot of money because now you don't have to send your trucks to a facility to pick up, and then from there they go to their route to do the delivery. So if you're in a financial situation where you can afford to open up a cross dock facility and run it effectively, go for it. You know, you're gonna have to have some things, you know, to start it off. You know, you're gonna need a rack system. You know, you're gonna need forklift, rack system. You're gonna need a bunch of pallets, a lot of shrink wrap because you're gonna have to do reverse logistics. You're gonna need a warehouse with a dock because you're gonna get multiple semi trucks coming in every day. You're gonna need a warehouse staff person. You're gonna need a great security system because you might have high 6 figures or 7 figures worth of freight in your cross dock facility at any given time. You're gonna need a great warehouse management software program, and other things you're gonna need. I actually did a live stream on cross docking, and I actually showed my warehouse, pictures of my warehouse. I showed, you know, BOLs, and I rarely show things, you know, but that one I did. So you might want to go take a look at that live stream. I think it's good if you have the resources to do it. Then I think go for it. Drop ship, I'm not too fond of. I'm not too fond of a drop shipping business. But cross docking, you can make good money. The margins are low because the companies that you're running final mile for that are shipping direct to you, the cost that you're consuming for the operation of the cross docking, they're not covering that per se directly, but your final mile delivery per stop cost is higher than it would be if you were going to a local logistics company, picking up the freight from there and then driving to your route, if that makes any sense. So I think go for it. You know what I'm saying? Go for it. Just make sure your numbers are in order before you do it. It's $675 for final mile furniture delivery. Good. It's a 2-man job. The company's paying the tolls. What do you think? $675 is good, depending on what the account is. What's the account? What's the account and how many stops? What's the account and how many stops? What's the account as far as the retailer? How many stops? And what's the logistics company name? Axel says hit the thumbs up. DM, check your DM when you get off live. All right, bet. Aerial car, that's why I haven't gotten my cargo van yet. I'm trying to get a good van for good price. I'm kind of confused. I'm going new pre-owned. All right, so I bought a brand new van before. I told this story before, and we actually talked about it earlier. Cargo vans, pickup trucks really, really hold their value. Really, really hold their value. In some cases, it's better to just buy a new cargo van. Like I said, I told this story before. When I was in the market for a cargo van, I was looking at cargo vans that were 4 or 5 years old that had upwards of 200,000 miles that were still $23,000 at that particular time. The rates are a little bit higher now, whereas a brand new cargo van was 28,000. You know what I'm saying? So it made more sense to me to just pay the extra 6,000. I'm getting 5,000 back on the rebate and get the new cargo van that comes with the warranty. You know what I'm saying? Then paying 23,000 for a 5-year-old cargo van with 175,000 miles. Cargo vans hold their value really, really well to that point where the gap from used to new really isn't that far off. So in some cases, it may just be better to get the new cargo van. What I would recommend to you is when you're really ready to go out there and look, I would just look at the market and compare and contrast. If it's a difference of $10,000 where what the particular van that you're looking for at that particular time is selling for on the market from what a new cargo van, that same make and model, is going, if it's within a $10,000 gap, I would just go ahead and buy the new one because it's probably going to get ate up, or most of it is going to get ate up with the rebates anyway. Nah, I was occupied, bro. Tapped in about 30 minutes ago. It's all good. I'm going to check that DM once I get out of here. I see a lot of company middle mile drivers and tractor trailers on my old industrial FedEx dock to dock route doing the same stops every day in the same 30-mile radius. Is that a dedicated broker route? I see a lot of company middle mile drivers and tractor trailers on my old industrial FedEx dock to dock route doing the same stops every day in the same 30-mile. Is that a dedicated broker route? You gotta understand, FedEx has an volume on top of volume on top of volume, so they can run in more condensed routes versus a person who doesn't have a magnitude of volume like that. So it doesn't necessarily. I'm trying to think. I'm hoping I'm answering your question. I'm trying to understand the way you got the question set up. So that doesn't necessarily mean it's a dedicated broker route. It's just, man, FedEx and UPS just, those two companies damn near monopolized, parcel delivery. You got DHL. DHL isn't as big as it used to be back in the 90s, in the early 2000s, but they pretty much have monopolized the whole country as far as final mile parcel delivery. So, their routes can be more condensed because they have all the business. So it doesn't necessarily mean, if I'm understanding your question correctly, that it's a dedicated broker route. You know what I'm saying? It's for Bob's. The stops are 10 to 15 stops mark. Is this for what company is this through? Is this through Select or is this through like Cardinal? 10 to 15 stops. I wouldn't do it for 675 for furniture. Mm-mm. Not me personally. But I don't know what market you're in. If you're in a small market, you may not be able to get what Chicago, New York, LA is able to get. You know what I'm saying? So, what market are you in now? What's the 3PL company you're running Bob's for? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Uh, Axel in the building. Man, Axel, you got me out spending unnecessary money, man. My streaming setup was dope, but you want me to spend more money, so I went out to Micro Center and you got me buying vertical monitors and all type of stuff that I really don't need. I got an iMac. You tell me I need to go get an iMac Studio Pro, so you want me to go spend $3,000 on another iMac just because it got Studio on it? You know what I'm saying? I'm not in competition with you. I think what I got, I'm not gonna. You gonna have me spending all this money on this stuff, Axel? See, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Axel just got me spending money. Yeah, Mark, you gotta go get this. You gotta go get that. And my goofy dumb self just going doing it. Yeah, what's the man, you had me spend. I was at Micro Center for 2 hours earlier today. Uh was what hey, Ibrahim, what's the 3PL? What's the 3PL? And what market is this for? Okay, the lowest I found a van that's new was 41K in California. You got a new van for 25. That this was some years ago though, and the van was a Chevy Express. Chevy Express is gonna be cheaper than um some Ford Transits and some Ram Pro Masters, especially the extended length high top. So I got an extended length um I got an extended length Chevy Express 2500, brand spanking new, 28 grand. Um, yep, yep. At that time, it was between that and a Ford Transit. It was a Ford Transit F350 single wheelbase that I was looking at, which I should have got. The only reason I didn't get it, and it was stupid, because it was blue and I wanted white. Now if I was in the market for a van now and I was comparing between the two at those same prices, I would have just took the blue one and just went and spent 2 grand and got it wrapped white. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't thinking like that back then. I needed white. I had a relationship with the Chevy dealership because I had bought a brand new truck from them, and I had bought a few cars, so I had a relationship. So they took care of me. But ultimately, I should have got the 35, the 350, T350 Ford. Um, what type of van is this you looking for? What is it, uh, Mr. Carter? Is it a ProMaster? Is it a Transit? Is it a Sprinter? Axel, I'm coming to Mark's Hood tomorrow. Are you coming through Chicago tomorrow? Let me know what time you gonna be here, man. You a good supporter, man. You ain't gonna be in Chicago with your van, man. Dinner. We can go out, man. Catch some food, man. Eat some dinner, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me know. Ibrahim. I'm in Philadelphia and the company is Select. I figured it was Select. All right, so this is how Select works, man. And here's the thing. I know Luis Escobar is when I first got with Select, Luis was like a dispatcher. Now he's high up there in corporate. He emailed me last year for a side project. The guy who runs, and I hope they don't get mad for me saying their names on this live. The guy who runs Select is a guy named Mike Cohen. Now, Select Express has been acquired since I haven't been dealing with them. They got acquired last year by a company called AIT. So I'm not sure because I haven't talked to any of my contacts there since last summer when Lewis reached out to me, but they've been acquired since then. So I'm not sure if Mike is still there because Mike is the brother-in-law of one of the owners. All right, so if Mike is still there, he's the guy that runs it as far as what you're doing. So what I would do, and you could tell him I sent you, use my name. He might call me an asshole because, you know, me and Mike had kind of like, it wasn't really like a love-hate relationship. It's just I always demanded my prices. So he might get mad at me for telling you this, especially on a live stream. Tell him you want more money. Tell him I need $750 a day. Tell him I need $750 a day. And see where it happens, where it goes from there. I have to speak to Mike Cohen, all right, and say, man, look, $650 ain't cutting it. I need $750 a day. All right. I'm not gonna give you his number on this live. I gave you the name of the person you need to talk to. All right. He approves. He is the guy that has to approve it anyway. So if you go through anybody for that account, all right, that handles final mile, ultimately it's got to get approved from him. So I'm giving you the source. Now it's up to you to get to the source, because he's not the type of person where you can say, I want to speak to Mike Cohen. They just going to put him, they're going, what you want to talk to Mike for? Like certain people he'll talk to, but you know, you got to be one of them guys. One of them guys that's doing a lot of bailing them out when they need bailouts. You know, a guy that got the leverage. You know, I always had leverage, and I was able to help them out of a lot of sticky situations. That's why they still reach out to me now. But yeah, that's who you want to talk to. Tell them you need more money. So you got to do the rest of the work on your own. I gave you the person you got to talk to. Mike Cohen. All right. I'm looking for Ford Trans 250 medium roof. Is that a good one to start with? Yeah, it's a good one to start with. I would try to see how much more if you can find an extended length for around that same price. You know, the more space, the merrier. You know what I'm saying? The better. Yeah, AIT acquired them in the past year. So like I said, I don't know if Mike is still there. So if he is, that's who you want to talk to. Would you recommend a backup camera delivery in the business districts of Chicago? I think Manhattan it's matched when I hit that 12-lane highway. Chicago driving through on 90. No. I've never had a truck that has a backup camera. You got to know how to, you know, back that thing up. You know what I'm saying? You got to know what you're doing. So do you need one? No, you don't. Oh, you said, do you recommend a backup camera? Not really. You know what I'm saying? I'm an OG, man. So like certain technology when it comes to like trucks, I just think you could thug it out the way it is. But if you want to get a backup camera to help you out, then yeah, that's your personal preference. Do I recommend one? Not really, but if that's what you want to do, and when I say not really, I'm not saying it because I don't think it's needed. Yeah, if you want to do it to make your job easier, then go for it. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to spend the money, that's still good too. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think Chicago has nothing to do with it. You in the docks. You're not parallel parking that thing. You know what I'm saying? You in a 26-foot box truck. So if you pull up to a spot that don't got a dock and you doing like a curbside, man, you in a truck. What's somebody gonna do? They gotta wait. They gotta wait, man. Like, you don't want to see me on a truck. If I'm on a block where ain't no alley and I gotta drop something off, listen, man, they can blow all they want. They gotta wait. What they gonna do? I remember some years ago, I was on a moving job, right? And we were moving a person out. We were in the alley. We were blocking the alley with the truck, right? Alley, right? Lady comes out in the alley. It's always that one old person who think they just running some stuff. And you guys can't block the alley. So I said, well, what you want us to block the street? Well, I don't know what you're going to do, but you can't block the alley. I said, let me ask you a question. I don't know how long you've been living here, but when you moved here, you had to move, right? So I'm pretty sure it was with a truck, and I'm pretty sure the truck was either in the front or the back. So, you have to show people the same courtesy that you would want showed to you, because I'm sure you moved in with the truck. So you had to block one or the other two. Now, I don't think blocking the street is wise. That's why we're blocking the alley. It's not traffic coming through the alley. If somebody needs to pull out the garage, then yeah, we'll put the lift gate up, or if it's a truck with a ramp, put the ramp up, we'll move up, let them out or let them in, and put the truck back in the spot. She said, well, I'm calling the police. I said, go ahead. Police come. What seems to be the problem? They're blocking the alley. You said, ma'am, what do you want them to do? Block the street? You sound like him. Well, ma'am, it's 90 degrees outside. These guys are working. We got real crime to fight. They're not doing anything wrong. They're working. They're doing a hard job. Their job is harder than mine. You know what I'm saying? Their job is harder than mine. They're not blocking the street. They're blocking the alley. Who cares? Let these guys do their job. Have a nice day, man. At the end of that, you're in a truck. You're in a truck, man. So do what you got to do. Be a trucker. You shouldn't be backing that truck up trying to parallel park it anyway. If you backing into a dock and you need help backing you into a dock, then so be it. But you in a truck, man. We block shit. We block shit. Now I don't know how it is where you from, but here in a truck, we block shit, and they just gotta wait. It just is what it is. So you ask for 800. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna be honest with you. With Select, you may be pushing it. The reason why Select has a lot of accounts is because they bid lower than a lot of the other 3PLs. This is why they pay so low, right? Because they bid lower than any other 3PL. They bid considerably low. That's why they're able to acquire so many accounts. All right. So it rolls downhill because they bid so low. Their margin is small. So same situation. It just rolls downhill. 800 may be a lot for them. You talking about $150, $125 bump from what they paying at $675. So see what they say. You might want to. I don't know if they're gonna approve that. But we'll see though. Is the walk says Karen. Axel says maybe Kenosha. Nah, Axel, I'm sorry. It definitely was a Karen. It was a little old white lady. So 3 black guys with dreads. Well, 2 black guys, because Tim was on that truck on that route. So 2 black guys with dreads and 1 light-skinned, high yellow dude with tattoos all on his neck and all on his face. So she was scared as hell, It is what it is, but hey, it is what it is. That truck didn't move. It stood there, and when the police came, they told her to go mind her business and go back in the house. So it definitely was a Karen, Axel. Sorry to disappoint you. Wasn't a Kenosha. Hey, Kenesha ain't worried about stuff like that. Kenesha minding their business. Kenesha's minding their business. Parcel deliveries, yeah. We've done Office Depot. That's equivalent to parcel deliveries, small package deliveries. Yeah, Office Depot. Yep, Office Depot. I don't know, man. Pippi ain't been here in 2 lives. I actually needed to kick somebody out the other night. She would have been able to put some work in, man, and she wasn't even here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's up with Pippi. I hope she's doing okay. But nah, she ain't been here for the past 2 lives. So, yep. So, hope she's doing all right. So, guys, hit that like button. I appreciate it. Anthony Townsend said Kenesha flirting with the workers. Yep, Kenesha would definitely be flirting with the workers. I didn't fire Pippi. You can't fire nobody that's volunteering. I offered to send Pippi something on maybe 2 occasions, and she said no. Nah. She said no. Nah. You know. Other than FedEx, Amazon leadership was a good parcel lane to look into that specializes in bulk. I would say Office Depot or Staples. You can make good money with Office Depot and Staples through T-Force, Capstone, or Watco. Dedicated Monday through Friday. Depending on the route, pays good. Don't need a 26-footer. You could do it in a van. Yeah. Those are the only other options for parcel. That's pretty much out there I can think of off the top of my head. Yep. All right. Any more questions? If it is, I got answers. If not, then I'm gonna get up out of this thing before Axel try to pop up on screen. I ain't with it tonight, man. I am not with it tonight. I'm not doing that 6-hour stuff because Axel on the road, so he ain't finna use me or my channel for his entertainment, so he can stay up and have some entertainment while he's sitting at the truck stop waiting on the load. Man, he better download Netflix on his phone, pay that $18.99 or whatever it is, and watch Chris Rock or something. We ain't doing it here tonight. Not tonight. All right. So any XPO and Dewey the Orange Company? Why do they do local middle? Why do they do local middle mile? XPO does everything. XPO is the third largest trucking company in the country behind UPS and FedEx. So they do everything. Yeah. So I don't know why you mean why do. They do everything. It's not nothing that XPO don't do. It's not an account that they don't have. So yeah, they the big boys. And thing at XPO is they strict. They don't like to budge on rates, and insurance is tricky with them. So it is what it is. All right. So anybody got nothing to talk about no more? Nobody got no jokes to tell. If not, then I'm out. Nobody want to talk about Amazon or nothing. Y'all want to talk about how goofy Ja Moran is or anything? If not, I'm out, man. Hey, Axel, man, nah, man. If I bring you on, it's gonna be for a hot 10 minutes, man. Then that's it, bro. I'm telling you, I'm not doing it tonight, bro. I'm not. I can't. I, I'm not doing. Hell no, I'm out of here. Straight up. I'll put the link, but I'm gonna give him a hot 10 minutes because guess what? I'm just gonna end the live. I'm gonna get up out of this thing. Yeah, it was daylight saving. I know some parts of the country don't get daylight saving, so we lost an hour last night. Are you good? All right, bet. Amar, do you know about Mark 1V transportation and logistics? Can you explain? Send me your application to apply. Mark 1V. Never heard of Mark 1V. Never heard of Mark 1V. Y'all held us hostage for 6 hours. You know what's crazy about that live from the other day? That live throughout the night would have spikes of like 70 people, 80 people, and it held strong at around 45, 50 people all the way to like 2 o'clock in the morning. That was what was crazy to me. Yo, hold on, let me bring him up, man.
Certain people you talk to.
You gotta turn your you gotta turn your
Man, you don't like that view?
no, you gotta turn. I hear me in the back talking, so you gotta turn the volume down or something.
Let me see if I can oh, my earpiece died.
Yeah.
All right, let me turn it around. Hold on.
If I get my business is my wife's name, can I be a driver for her and do deliveries while she working her original job? So the business gonna be in a business name. Whoever gonna be the principal on the business, yeah, she could be the principal on the corporation or the LLC, and you can act as an employee if that's what you want to do. Yeah, you could be the principal of the business yourself if you want, and do the same thing. So yeah, appreciate it. Ibrahim, no, I never heard of him. I never heard of them. Joe Bill, appreciate that. What up? Hold on, let me move this out the way. What up, Mark? Question for the final mile delivery guys: where do they go legally to dump their trash? You take it back to the logistics company. Logistics company should have dumpsters for you to dump all the trash from the freight that you delivered. Yep, back to the logistics company and straight to their dumpsters. Yo,
How about now?
yeah, you all right?
Too dark?
No, you good.
Moonlight shining on my face, all right?
I don't see no moonlight, but we see your face. Is it possible to get into bulk expedited in a 26-foot box truck? Axel, what is expedited? What's the difference?
Yeah,
Expedited 26-foot box truck? No, I don't. That doesn't exist.
yeah, it does, Mark, if they're running team.
Oh yeah, that's right. If you're running teams, then yeah. So if you're running teams, the truck doesn't. But nah, you can't run teams in a box truck because there's no sleeper berth.
Well, they got to put a sleeper.
Yeah, man. Teams in a box truck, bro. That's gonna be a funky, nasty, disgusting box truck. No, you
They
can't,
do it.
because the whole purpose of teams is the truck never stops. Never stops. So here's the thing: if the truck never stops, that means one person is driving. So what? Other dude driving, the other dude is got his head in the other guy's lap while he driving, or he got his
They got to
feet
have a
in the.
sleeper.
Yeah, but man,
It's
you
got,
don't see no
it's
sleepers
complete.
with no box truck with no sleeper.
Yeah, my buddy's got one. He built it.
Man, oh, they go Pippi right there. Uh, uh, nah. I mean, whatever, man. To each his own, bro. Like, if I'm a team person, I'm not teaming in a box truck. It's just not enough
Usually it's
room,
best with like husband and wife.
man. It's just not enough room. The truck never stops. It never stops. It's just not enough space.
Man, you can do like the Russian guys and have 3 of them in the truck.
I know box trucks have sleeper berths, but you're talking about a small sleeper berth. I'm not. No, I'm straight. I mean, you do what you want to do. I don't care. Y'all do what y'all want to do. I gotta
I'm just
remember.
saying they do it.
Yeah, I
wouldn't do
believe.
it. I don't think they do it.
Yeah, that's a funky ass box truck. I'm telling you that now. That box truck is no. What's Axel's take on sleeping in his van? I know James was asking about that earlier.
Depends how you set it up. It's like camping. If you need a queen size bed, and your teddy bear next to you, it might not work out for you.
What you got, a
Some
full
guys-
size?
I got a roll down camping
Twin?
memory foam.
Yeah, okay. It's a twin, right?
I think I want to say 35-inch wide by 6 foot long.
Okay.
75 inches long, actually.
Man. Shouts out to you, man. I don't know how you do it, but
Man, it's like camping, man.
I've never been camping a day in my life.
Oh, really?
No.
Man, that's the problem, Team City folk. No camping.
Hey, call it what you want. I've never been camping, bro. Don't have no desire to do it either.
Oh man, you'll love it. Peaceful, quiet, the birds, the deer, the raccoon.
What about the mosquitoes? Tearing me up. No, I'm straight on that, bro. Sleeping outside and bro, in a tent. Nah, I'm cool.
Straight bro, you gotta become one with nature, man.
Bro, I ain't never been fishing.
What?
Never been fishing.
Man, I got a nice fishing spot for me. I know you love that catfish.
Nah, bro, I don't eat catfish.
Really? Man, we're gonna have to do a live stream now with you fishing.
All right, well, you sponsor it. I'll fish. I'm not gonna spend my money to go fish to do it so people can see me doing it. Now, if you sponsor it, then I'll do it. I ain't never been fishing. I didn't have that luxury. I didn't grow up in a household with a father, man. So a lot of the things that a lot of people, privileges or experiences that people, might have had because they had a father in the household, I didn't get none of that. Now that I'm older, I really don't even desire to do none of that stuff. If I had kids of my own, I'd probably experiment with fishing, but probably not camping though. But nah, man, I ain't never been fishing, bro. I ain't never been fishing.
They say you look taller. Damn. I'm sitting in my chair, that's why I look short.
I'm not tall. I'm 5'8". I'm 5'8", bro.
He's sitting in a booster chair, maybe. I don't know.
I ain't sitting in no booster chair. I'm sitting in the same chair I always sit in. I'm 5'8". Pippi, what's going on? We missed you the other day. I had somebody I need you to kick out. But Pippi probably would have been gone. That was like around 1 a.m. Somebody came in here acting up. Pippi says, I got a new puppy, 8 weeks old. If you ever had one, it's like having a baby. The little dude is wearing me out. Yeah, I had a puppy growing up as a kid. What happened to the Cardinal Logistics Live? So, yeah, I explained that on one of the lives, a live right after that. So, what happened was we did the live, and the next morning when I got up, I woke up to an email. I called the powers that be, watched the live. They approved him to come on the live. He's an exec, but the execs over him watched the live. They didn't watch it while it was happening. They watched it it had to be very early the next morning, like damn near overnight. So by the time I got up the next morning, I had already had an email. This was about 7 o'clock to call him. So I called him around 8. And he was like, man, the live was good. Everybody here is ecstatic, but there was one mistake I made. And the mistake he made was mentioning the retailers that they have contracts with. Apparently there's a clause they have with the retailers that they can't mention publicly what accounts they hold. It's written into their contract with the retailers, and when he went down the list of contractors accounts that they had as far as the retailers, that's where he messed up. And he said, I know this that I'm not supposed to do. He's like, I don't know why I did it. And I'm like, I asked you because we did 30 minutes before we went live, I had the questions I was going to ask him. I said, well, any question you don't want me to ask, just let me know. I'll take it out. So the questions I asked him was I didn't blindside him. You know what I'm saying? So and I'm like, man, we went over this. He's like, I know, man. I don't know why it didn't dawn on me. They caught it, so we're asking, could you take it down? They offered to pay me too for the live stream. I declined. They felt bad because it was a lot of information. So to ask me to take it down for that one little blunder, they knew the amount of time and effort that went into putting that together. You know what I'm saying? So they felt bad. They wanted to pay me, but I told them no. So what I'm gonna try to get them to do, since they won't pay me, because they reached out to me multiple times since that live stream, like, well, can we donate? What I want them to do is I want them to sponsor, and I'm trying to get them and another company to collectively sponsor a box truck seminar. So instead of letting them pay me, I'm like, yo, I want y'all to sponsor a seminar. So right now, that's what I'm kind of working on. I don't know if it's going to come into fruition or not, you know what I'm saying? But if I'm able to get them to sponsor it with another company, then ultimately that's what I want. But that's why they asked me to take it down, so I took it down because I don't want to get nobody in trouble. I don't know how much deep shit he might have been in for making that mistake. And it's unfortunate, but they asked me to take it down, so I took it down. It sucks. They're trying to make it right still, so I appreciate that. But the way I want them to make it right would be to sponsor something that I think can benefit everybody, and that's a box truck seminar. So we're gonna see if that can come into fruition. But that's what happened to that live stream. Actually, is there a local and regional expedited, like in Manhattan, these lawyers expedite paperwork from skyscraper to skyscraper, borough to borough?
James be coming up with some complex, multi-level
I
questions.
know, right? I guess he ain't gonna answer it, James. So I'm gonna move
I,
on.
I don't know what kind of question is there a local and regional?
I don't know why he be coming up with
I
some of these questions either.
I've never even been to New York City. I'm not going to the place. I don't plan on going there. So I got nothing to do with Manhattan. I heard it's hell to drive through there. Man, he's talking about going like you're more or less talking about courier stuff, running around downtown cities. You can do that on a bicycle.
Mr. Carter says I only been fishing once and ain't catch nothing. Right? See, I don't want to waste my time either. So, Pippi, I caught the replay. I see you handle it. Yes, I would have went to sleep on y'all. Yeah, yeah, it was a long laugh, long.
I don't even know how it got that long. I wasn't on there the whole time.
Man, the reason why it was that long is because the audience. We had an audience from start to finish. Like there was like 50, 60 people in there still at 2 in the morning. It was people coming in. It was people coming in, went to sleep, came back. So
Yeah, I think some came back in the morning.
right. So like if it would have died down to 15 people, it would have been dead because there was so many people in there. It was just the chat was going on. People were asking questions. People were engaging amongst each other in the chat. So there was not a dry spot on the live. So I think that's what just garnered the attention, and that's why I think it just kept going because I kept looking at the clock. I'm like, all right, it's 12. I got to get out of here. I'm gonna give it 15 more minutes, and that what felt like 15 more minutes was actually an hour. So now I'm like, damn, it's 1, and then next thing I know, it's like damn near 2:30, but it just didn't. The time was flying. So man,
There was a lot of visual too.
Yeah, you had a lot going on. Then it was people jumping on. I know Young World jumped on, and James jumped on, and it was just people, jumping on camera. So it was a good informational live, and people saying it was the best live they seen as far as box trucking. And then that turned into uh, a free partial training a day for a bunch of people, thanks to James. So those people can really thank James for kickstarting that, um, because there was a need for it that was seen. So, because of James, those people were able to get that. So yeah, man, I think that live was very informative, inspirational, and it just parlayed into something today that people were able to get more, value from. So yeah, it was good. It was good. It was good. It was good. It was good, man. Anytime you can be a blessing to others, um, it's always a good thing. You know what I'm saying? So can't
I'm predicting this upcoming week is going to be a very interesting week
why
because last week was crap.
you talking about for freight, or you just talking about in the
Yeah,
world, or what?
mostly for freight for the expedite side. I don't know if that storm finished coming across the United States or not. I thought it was supposed to continue this week. I haven't looked at the weather radar. I'm not sure.
It missed us.
But
It hit the northern part of here, like up by Wisconsin, but it didn't touch down in the city though. I
yeah,
don't
and
know where
then
it's at right now.
we're reaching the midway point of March. Is usually when people start picking up. So let's see what happens. At least
Um, it started picking up from what I hear a little bit in some places, but like that, what you would expect during tax season pre-pandemic, I don't think you're gonna see that. I don't think you're gonna see that. No, I don't think you're gonna see that. Like how you see like yellow temporary tags on cars and stuff like that. During tax season, I don't think you're gonna see a lot of that. I don't think you're gonna see a lot of that.
I got a new team drive husband and wife start next week and another solo driver. The solo driver is from Chicago.
Oh, what's up? Oh, okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. What's their name?
The one is George, but he's Arabic. And
Oh,
then the team is wife is Puerto Rican and husband is Cuban.
okay.
I'm gonna
That's what's
start
up.
hiring all foreigners. I think lazy Americans are just too lazy now.
Hey man,
Looking
whatever you
for
gotta do.
I'm gonna look for Russians and Ukrainians next. I'm gonna take the Russian Ukrainians from the Russian and Ukrainians.
That's what's up. That is what's up. All right, any more questions? If not, then we're gonna go ahead and call it one, guys. Um, uh, for the night, because I didn't really have a presentation because I was busy all day, guys. Busy, you know, doing other coaching and training and guest speaking and all that stuff. So this is just gonna be just a pop on and pop off. You know what I'm saying? You got anything to add, Axel?
I I would just say any of the new guys, just try to like when we talk about research, try to like really do research. Like any of you expedite guys are in the cargo vans are using those apps. I'm gonna tell you right now, you need to be really leery of what's going on. There's a new guy out there just started. I've been watching him. It is so funny. But then he mentioned one of the apps that we're watching,
Uh huh.
and I'd love to know what he's driving for because it has to be really cheap.
Hmm.
But the apps, a lot of those apps, they're double brokering the loads. They're carriers. They're booking the loads from the broker, and then they're putting them on the apps for these new guys to bid on. And when I sign up guys, they don't bid on loads. We have a percentage or an average rate per mile that they're supposed to get. I don't say here's the load, bid on it, and then go to the other guy that's sitting next to him and say here you bid on it because that's just being you're playing broker. It doesn't work like that. I just
Exactly.
wish they'd all stop because they're bidding themselves down.
It's like almost like stupid then, huh?
Yeah.
No, I just wanted to drop that in there. I'm still working on it, man. R. Kelly
Oh, you just
said,
gotta cut the
huh?
clip and then just.
No, I gotta cut it back to uh um I gotta turn the volume up on it, and then I gotta make it cut back to the screen. I was just gonna put the audio in there, but the visual is so much better with the audio. So anytime somebody say something stupid, especially with these comments I be seeing with Amazon, this, I'm gonna put that. I just gotta touch it up a little bit, man. Bring the audio up, man.
And then I think you should follow it with that slap
What slap?
when Chris Rock got slapped.
Oh man, Will Smith was a mog for that, man. That was some mog stuff. Chris Rock was
Yeah.
a mog for his stand up. He was on point with everything. I just don't like the scapegoat thing he was trying to do. And, I feel like that whole situation, I feel like I think he did what was right at the moment. I think for his benefit with the types of clientele he has as far as booking gigs, hosting the Oscars, I think him exercising some self-control and not doing nothing, I think that was the right thing. He wouldn't have did it anyway because he's not that type of person. But I think ultimately after that gig was over, he should have made it his mission to pull up anywhere Will was at. You know what I'm saying? I think him saying like, man,
I think he got caught off guard and he was actually shocked that it happened.
he was, but some people you smack, you gonna get smacked back, or there's gonna be some type of retaliation. Some people just TTG, they're just trained to go. He ain't TTG like that, and I get it. But after that show, he should have at least made it his business, even if he wasn't trying to stand on business like that. He should have made it at least look like, Will, I didn't do it because I was working. It's a high paying gig on hosting Oscar, but I'm on your ass. Wherever I catch you at, it's up. He just even on his show, he said, man, you smack the person you can beat. And I just feel like, now you done called his wife a bitch, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. So now, now he really got a reason to go upside your head. So, I don't know. I think he was a mob for doing it because, man, you didn't go upside August Alsina head. And then you calling a scapegoat. Chris Rock want to use scapegoats. Charlamagne said this. This person said that. Nah, man. But Chris Rock was right, but that was the Oscars. Ain't the Oscars on tonight, I think, too?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I thought it was on tonight.
Yeah. I just think, but I think he did what was right at the right time. I think in his situation, as soon as I would have seen that hand, it would have been retaliation right there. I wouldn't have thought like the way I'm thinking now on how he reacted was good. My thought wouldn't have been like that. It wouldn't have been that. I wouldn't have had that split second to be like, calm down. It would have been swing, slap, retaliate right then and there. So, but like somebody said, Chris Rock brothers a little bit more about it than he is. Like Tony and them, they're a little bit more about it than Chris. You know what I'm saying? So, Chris been getting to the money since a young age. So,
I haven't seen in a while. It's been real quiet. Maybe I don't know. Maybe you've seen the Wayans brothers. I haven't seen any of them.
One of the Wayans brothers just Marlon. He just had a stand up come out on one of these platforms. Yeah, he was promoting it like a few weeks ago. I don't really care for the Wayans brothers material. The best material I think any Wayans brother ever had was in Living Color. Like in Living Color, White Girls was cool, but man, as far as the Wayans catalog of stuff, Keenan always did the best stuff. From I'm gonna get you sucker to and live in color. You know,
You ever watch those two other guys, the twin brothers, the Patriot? What are they called? Patriot twins on Facebook.
all them black guys that act white,
Yeah,
them twins,
yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah.
I catch them sometimes, but man, I don't agree with that old sucker stuff they be talking about, man. Some of the stuff like they be talking, but then a lot of that stuff is, you know,
It's all for the views.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. I don't agree with a lot of it, so no. I almost called it Uncle Tom, but I've been getting out of calling it Uncle Tom because I don't want to use Uncle Tom in the made up. You know, Uncle Tom. Like people use Uncle Tom in the wrong context, and I've been guilty of doing it too. But you know, I said I'm gonna
I
stop
think they
doing it.
talked about that in one of their streams one time, or used it.
They did,
Yeah, I've heard them say that before.
yeah. So, yeah. So, but yeah, yeah. So, yeah. Any other questions? Somebody, let me see. I'm sure they will pull up on Will though. Yeah, they'll pull up. They catch Will. If any one of them brothers catch Will, it's gonna be up.
He has 7 brothers.
Yeah, it's a lot of them. It's a lot of them. But you know, Chris is the breadwinner, so you know you gotta protect the breadwinner at all times.
Yeah.
You know, that's just the way it goes. You gotta protect the breadwinner at all times. You know, I think he exercised. And here's another thing, like a good example of exercising self control. He exercised self control for a year. You know, and he got a payday to finally talk about it. So that's just a great example from a business sample because stand up is his business. He could have sold that his thoughts to everybody wanting an interview with Chris after that. But ultimately, he got $20 million to speak on that situation for 2 minutes. Because ultimately, that whole stand up, that hour and 5 minutes or whatever it was, he saved it to the very end. Ultimately, the reason why everybody watched that to see what he was going to finally say. So to watch that whole hour and 5 minutes just to hear him, and it wasn't even jokes. He was damn near emotional. You know what I'm saying? Chris Rock, I heard somebody say something that made a lot of sense. Chris Rock is an accomplished comedian. Chris Rock ain't the type of person to mess up a joke. He said it like, man, I F the joke up. Chris Rock don't F up Joe. He's talking about over 30 years in stand-up. That lets you know that even talking about it was emotional. That wasn't jokes. He was telling his story and he got emotional that he messed the joke up and admitted to it. So, but that was a great business move just to go back what I was talking about earlier about, you know, being patient. When something happens, you finally get what you need to get. And you just thirsty to jump into the business now because that money came in for you to go get the truck or this, that, and the third, and you enter the wrong way because you're so anxious. You know what I'm saying? You don't go about it the right way. Something happened to him where money was being thrown at him, but he waited a year to talk about it to the right payday. He got $20 million to do that. $20 million just to talk about something that people wanted to hear him talk about, and he only talked about that hour and 5 minutes. He talked about that damn slap for 2 minutes or maybe less. And that was it. $20 million from Netflix. So he exercised a lot of patience. Mark, if JBH or any other company that have final mile delivery offer truck leasing, would you pay for it? I wouldn't pay for it for final mile. I wouldn't even pay for it for semi trucks. A lot of people I know that lease trucks through Schneider or JB Hunt for semi trucks, it always start off good and then it always end up bad. So no, not me personally. The way he slammed that mic at the end lets you know how he was feeling. Yeah, he got emotional. He had been holding it in. So just even talking about it right then and there, you know, he was mad. Man, that was embarrassing, man. And I know there's a lot of things that are probably still going through his head. Like, you know, I should have did something. I shouldn't have did something. I think he did the right thing in his situation. I probably wouldn't have responded that way. I'm more TTG. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think he did the right thing in that particular moment. And it was just messed up, man. Will was a sucker for that, man. Like, man, like, bro, Jada wasn't for him, bro. Jada wanted them thugs, dog. He wasn't a thug. Jada was running with Pop. You know what I'm saying? So, the stuff that, you talk about, you go on her show and talk about her affair with y'all son's one of his best friends. If anybody you should have been going smacking, it should have been him. And you really shouldn't even smack him because you can't hate the player. You know what I'm saying? That's something you got to address within your household with her. So, he made a lot of bad moves that I think one talking about it on a public platform on her show, like he needed some healing. He's sitting up there looking goofy and then smacking Chris. And then after he smacked Chris, she just sitting there with the stone face. You know what I'm saying? It's just, man, I don't know, bro. I don't think he gonna ever recover from that, man. Smart cities. Any thoughts on them? If not, just look it up in your free time. My bad, I had phone calling back. It's freezing in this truck, bro. Hey man, I gotta go, bro. Hey man, listen here, bro. Hey man, get you a hotel room, bro. He got one of them trucks that cut off every 5 minutes. One of them rental trucks where it don't let it idle. It just cuts off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, some rental truck companies got that set up where. No, you know what? I don't know if you think it's a rental truck company. Some international trucks do that. James, you got an international? I bet you got an international. Those international trucks do that.
Where's he at? So where he at? Idaho?
In
Something?
Wisconsin. In
Oh,
Wisconsin. Yeah, he tweaking. Boy, get you a
man, I
hotel
started
room,
that
bro.
truck. I'm not season.
Bro, get you a hotel room, bro. Get you a hotel room, bro. Like, man, James, I don't know what to say about you, bro. Oh, it's a Freightliner? Yeah, well, James, get you a hotel room, bro.
Listen, this way you can do. Run it for a good half hour, get it nice and toasty, go to sleep, wrap yourself up. You can get at least 3 hours before you get cold.
It's
You have
not
to
gonna
wake up.
run. It's not gonna run if it ain't moving. So if it's just sitting there in park idling, it's gonna cut off. I had a truck like that. It just
Wow,
cuts
that's
off.
crazy.
Yeah, so
Well, get some wood from outside and build a
yeah,
fire.
he stuck up there with all that snow that came Friday night. So I don't know, bro. I think you should get a hotel and you need to get an account with Red Roof Inn, Super 8. Now, I'm gonna keep it funky with you. I don't suggest Super 8 Motel 6s, all right? Especially some of the funny ones and some of these funny towns. Now, they do got some nice Super 8 Motel 6s when you get to like major cities. You know what I'm saying? Not the ones off the highway. They got some nicer new ones off the highway when you get to the major cities. But when you in the middle of nowhere, you running a risk. You run a risk of bed bugs. You run a risk of a lot of things. And I'm not trying to be funny, but I would much rather take a $50 Super 8 Motel 6 Red Roof Inn than sleep in the cold that I know you sleeping in right now. Don't do it. Don't do it. Get an account with Super 8 Motel 6, right? Those are the same corporation where you can get that discount. You know what I'm saying? You get that discount. It ain't much. It's like 20%. Equals up to maybe $20 or whatever. Man, get you a room, bro. Ain't no sense of freezing out there, bro. Straight up.
Mine's running right now.
Yo.
And it's 40 degrees over here. But I keep it warm, and then when I go to sleep, I'll wake up like 3 hours and crank her up again.
Say you gonna sleep in the truck, 10-4. Yeah, you say you gonna stay in the truck. All right. 10-4.
What city you in up there in Wisconsin, James? I want to see what
Red less. I could click inside. Maybe it'll attract a warm lizard to warm me up. Yeah, it's time for me to get off here, bro. Whenever I hit lot lizards, it's time to go.
Who said
So
it?
you gonna spend your money. You know you don't have that much capital, but you'll give $50 to a or $100 or whatever it is to a lizard that might also ultimately end up costing you more money. You're in the middle of nowhere, so I don't know if it's any clinics up there. You you know what I'm saying? You might have to go to a clinic in the morning, right?
Well,
That
Mark,
itch.
if he's just gonna get her to keep warm, he doesn't do any funny business. Just get
Y'all,
a juicy one
y'all
and roll her up
tweaking.
in a
Y'all
blanket.
tweaking. I'm not letting nobody I don't know in a small enclosed space with me and expect to have a decent sleep. I'm not closing my eyes with a stranger that popped up at a truck lot. Next thing you gonna know, you
Like
gonna hear,
that.
and it's gonna be she done called the local natives. Now they at the truck with guns telling you to get out. You know what I'm saying? Or you gonna wake up and she done took you for the little money that you had. Nah, we don't do that. Don't be a sucker, cause I don't want
Yeah,
to
he's
hear
got.
about it.
If he's by Madison, it's 29 feels like
Oh,
23.
he by Madison, boy. They gonna get your boy. They gonna get you, boy. They gonna get you up there, boy. You better keep your eyes open. For real, Madison ain't nothing nice.
It's too cold to have anything go on up there.
What you think? So when people get Section 8 here, you can't get it here. When your Section 8 first come through here, right? You gotta go somewhere else outside of Chicago, and then after a year you can move back. So a lot of people that get Section 8 here, they'll go like to Madison, they'll go like to Des Moines, Iowa, they'll go like to
Really?
Indiana, yeah. And then after that year, they'll move back. So that's why you got a lot of Chicago people up in Madison and front of these like Des Moines, Iowa and stuff. So yeah, there's some Chicagoans up there, boy, that'll get you, boy. You better not let nobody in that truck, boy. They get on there with you. You close by the crib, man, but it's gonna take us about Madison about 2.5, 3 hours. By the time we get up there, they gonna be gone. You know what I'm saying, boy? You better mind your business and stay in that truck and don't let nobody in there. The hell wrong with you?
He'd be all right.
Yeah, he be alright. He mind his business.
I'm gonna do a search for him 1 second. Let me see. That area is usually pretty good for good loads up there. They're gonna do a large street search. 1 second. It'll click. Let me see. Madison. Madison.
Madison is um
Wisconsin.
it's like a little bit northwest of Milwaukee.
Yeah, in our system, I can count whoever's in our system. I can count them. He's in a 26 footer. Let me see. So I got a total of 73 units. Large streets, you got one, two. Oh, good. Only two? Let
All
me
right, I'm
see.
gonna take two more questions and I gotta get out of here. I'm
A lot
tired.
of vans.
Well, it's for me or Axel, and I'm out.
One, two. Yeah, he's only got two large streets sitting up there by him in our system. One is tailor made, and damn, one is from Strongsville, Ohio. Yeah, don't bid under no $2 up there.
You got a question, Axel? Axel, what's a good rate for Sprinter cargo vans right now?
You want an honest, or you want what it's supposed to be?
Give my honest answer, man. I
Right
mean,
now,
give
they're
her
bidding
honest
probably
answer.
between 80 cents and a dollar.
There go the answer.
That's honest. Can you get more? Yeah, depends who it is. Well, where are they at? Because it depends what area you're in too. If you're in California, somebody over there, you said last week they were down to that 56 cents. Don't go to California.
Miss Red Nose, where you at? I forgot where she was at. Atlanta or Alabama or something, right? Down in the
Yeah,
southeast somewhere, I think.
and tomorrow's Monday. I have a thing like Monday morning, man. I just sleep in. Monday morning, I call Piranha Day. It's like everyone came back from the weekend. Everybody wants to load. They don't care as long as they have a load.
Let's see here. Axel, how far do you look to travel in expediting?
How far? What?
How far do you look to travel in expediting?
Depends how the money is. I go. The max I've ever gone was 2,200 miles. If I go to the west coast of California, if that's what you're asking.
Dang, Axel, I'm in California. They that low
Ooh,
out there, out here, dang.
yeah, you guys are loaded with fans over there. What part? North or south?
What part? Get them out, man. Just get organized here.
Mark, how far is Madison, Wisconsin from Kenosha, Wisconsin?
Maybe an hour.
There's a good one here right now for Lark Street. Picks up at 10 in the morning, 544 miles, and they're offering. Oh, no, I thought
544
it was.
miles from Kenosha to Madison?
No, it's pick up in Kenosha. That's what I was asking how far Madison was. I thought it said 1,800. No, I had to focus my eyeballs, but they're only offering 1,000.
Wait a minute. Madison. Madison. You sure? You said 544 miles from Kenosha?
No, It's picking up in Kenosha and it's
Oh.
going to Mount Juliet, Tennessee.
Oh. Yeah. Because Madison, from where I'm at, is 123 miles. So Kenosha to Madison, about 45-minute drive.
Yeah. Only problem is this is Millhouse. These cheap double brokering punks.
What is better for long distance driving, gas or diesel? Diesel. And why? Because it burns slower.
Yeah, you know what though? The newer vehicles now, like the vans, the gas, they're pretty good.
Mr. Carr says Southern California close to LA.
Yeah, best thing you can do is try to get a load over to freaking Phoenix. You got to try to hop, skip back across a little bit.
Axel, what load boards do you use? I'm thinking about getting rid of Truck Stop, but their mobile app shows more loads than the DAT mobile app.
What vehicle are you running?
26 footer.
Just stay on the DAT.
There
You,
you go.
you can try to get Selectus, but it's going to cost you about $500 a month. And you're new, nobody's going to know you. And if you have new authority, you got to have authority first off. If you got new authority, you're going to have a hard time on it. There's a lot of guys that jump on here, and then they're bailing because they said nobody answers them. You don't call these guys; it's all email.
All right. Well, that's it, man. I'm shutting down. I appreciate everybody for coming out. I'm tired. Been a long day of just answering questions and stuff, and talking. So
Yeah, how
I,
long were you on with Kirk before I got on?
man, I think Kirk 2 o'clock. So
Oh,
been just doing live streams and training, and then from that private training class, we went to Kirk's live for 3 hours, and then I came over here, and then this morning at 9 o'clock, I had a coaching session. So I've been just talking to people all day, speaking. So just a day of talking, and guest speaking and answering questions. So I'm tired, bro. I ain't finna hold you. I ain't finna lie to you. You know, it just was one of them days. So, but
Yeah.
that's
All
fine.
right.
It's
When's
all
the next
good.
show?
Thursday. I mean, me and you can jump on one tomorrow or Tuesday. I was gonna put one together and see if Kirk can come
Yeah,
on.
you
Then I
got.
was gonna
Hey,
put
listen,
some
because
topics.
I'm on the road. Just call me. Just double check in case I'm picking up a load or something or whatever.
Yeah, it'll be late. You ain't gonna be driving around 8 o'clock.
But I'll be honest with you. A lot of times I pick up my loads later because the prices are better. I run a lot of night loads.
I mean, you was driving the other night and you was still jumped on the live.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just to check
Uh,
with me.
yeah, I'll
I'm not
check with
saying
you.
not to get on, but just in case
Uh,
I'm loading or something.
yeah, it's all good. I have a meeting with Ford Final Mile tomorrow. Central Arkansas Market. Costco is the account. White glove, 13 stops average. Recruiter told me 650. Is that good? I was thinking 750. You was definitely thinking right with 750. Uh,
Inter- Interstate, just get the good DAT board if you're running a 26 footer.
yeah, you might want to negotiate 750. 13 stops, Costco doing white glove. If it's appliances, you definitely want to request more. Now, if it's not appliances and it's not furniture, if it's just like basic stuff and you're just dropping it off, there's no assembly involved, then you may be able to skate with 650. Central Arkansas, not a big market either, so they may just not have the bid for that company for Ford Final Mile to get that account and that market. They probably just bid very, very low. So, which I'm sure they did. So if it's not appliances or furniture, right? Um, then you may be okay with 650 because the level of difficulty won't really be there where you should be spending a lot of time on each stop. But if it is furniture and appliances, you want to try to get a minimum of 750. You want to get a minimum of 750. But if your market don't call for that because it's a small market, Central Arkansas, you know, you may have to just deal with it because they might not have the room to budge. Axel, I missed your answer to the low board question. Oh no, you answered it. He got you. Okay, bet. All right, so yeah, unless there's more questions, I'm out. I will see you guys Thursday. Me, Axel, and Kirk will probably do a pop up live stream sometime before then. I'll try to schedule one for either sometime tomorrow, Tuesday, or Wednesday. So, I guess for right now, to be on my channel until one of us build out another channel that we can direct y'all to. So, just be on the lookout for that. Make sure you turn your notifications on so that when we do it, you guys will get the notification uh, when we go on. And other than that, man, I appreciate everybody for coming out. And the
Mark,
words are, yeah.
just quick question. The two screens you got, what would you get them for?
I got some 27-inch Samsungs vertical that you can rotate from horizontal to vertical. I got them 1080. I was gonna get the 4K ones, but it really didn't make sense since I'm using them as secondary screen. So it was like $200 a piece.
Yeah, dude, I told you that message earlier today. Like, a lot of guys will use one just for the chat. Just
That's why I
wait.
got this one in. I got the chat. That's why I keep looking over there.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's nice and big then,
I
right?
had I had other screens, but those screens were screens I had took out my dispatch offices. I got like 12 screens. So, but those screens are a little bit older, and they didn't have the I couldn't rotate them vertically. So I
Oh,
wanted I wanted some screens that I could rotate vertically. That's why I went out and bought bought
okay.
bought these. So all right, so yeah, that's it. So all right, guys, we'll see you. I'll see you Thursday, and we'll probably see you before Thursday with me, Kirk, and Axel live stream. So appreciate everybody for coming out. Good night.